Yeah. Hold on. That was diligent research right there.
Yeah, we noticed. But yeah, shout out to everybody. You know, we got a whole court case. Whole court
How the
case.
hell
Man.
you put 325
Whew. Like I said, you got a whole court case being tried up in here today. But yeah, we finally get a chance to get down to business. So we got in here True Light, Justice, The Fifth Element, Hip Hop. I got Sincere, Kasim, Supreme Islam. It's been a minute. Katie Janae, Wisdom Equality. Welcome to the channel. Harmony Equality. What is the deal? No juice today. But we'll still manage to make it work. We'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. So, Wise Ruler was the deal. So, it was the deal out there. What's the deal out there today? Complete. Do we have anybody got anything they want to start off with before we start off with the start off? Because this is, I don't know, maybe this whole month I don't know. But we go through these different swings. So today, once again, it's something simple. This is for the newer people that might want to the basic steps. Because anybody can say anything. You're going to do this, or this is going to happen, or whatever. It's basic steps. Like, when I have a meeting with somebody, right? That's how I deal with mathematics. That, okay, let's say we got an idea, right? That's the knowledge. Okay, when I leave from this meeting, right? What's my mission? What's the first thing I'm supposed to do? Because I'm not coming back to be meeting with you 1,000 times. Like, I'm just telling you, in the course of us having the knowledge, right? Let's assume that you true and living, because I already know about me. Right? So let's assume that you true and living as well, right? So I'm just saying that during the time that we have the knowledge, right? Don't try to meet with me 10,000 times. Because I ain't got 10,000 meetings every. See, if we got an idea, right, and we sticking to that idea, like, unless something has been adjusted. Like, when we was going to that place, yeah, the place closed down. Okay, let me know that. But even, I hate when people do that. When people keep calling you, right? When you're getting ready to meet them. And say, you calling me, right? And then I don't answer the phone. Because my thing is, you're calling me and slowing me down from handling what I got to handle. So I ain't got time for that. I already know what the idea is. So, just the basic steps. Some people, you just getting the knowledge, and you don't have the people that's right there like I had the people. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, true and living guys where it's like, okay, I could just kind of play it off sometimes. Like if it's something that I don't know, I could just, come around and just kind of, just kind of do the knowledge, and it's going to eventually come out, or somebody, is going to live something out. I'll be like, oh, all right, that's how you do that. And I got, I got, thousands of people around, thousands of examples of what to do and what not to do too. You know what I'm saying? So, you come to the cipher, and, for me, that was distinct. That, like that was a decision that I made. When I first was coming into the ciphers and I seen some brothers getting bombed and some brothers doing the bombing, I made a decision right then. I'm not gonna be the brother getting bombed. So, all right, how you get like this brother right here, right? See, it's much easier when you know the brother. You know what I mean? And then if you following the first steps, right, you know your lessons. So, now the brother is, he might, the social equality might be there. But, we all 5%, but some of us, we actually like each other. You know what I mean? So then they might see some potential in you, and then they might just start, like, yo, young guy, come over here. What's up? See this right here? Yeah, this is how you handle that. You know what I mean? Or yo, you ever seen this? You ever seen this degree right here, guy? You see what I'm saying? But if you're in the outskirts, sometimes you don't realize, some of these basic steps. You know what I mean? So, which we're pretty good tonight with the amount of people. Plus, we getting on late, so we don't know that we're gonna get everybody in. But this right here is a key thing, man. Stay building. Anybody that was on the live stream last night, right? And you seen how the dude end up exposing himself. See, it's easy for that to happen because we build it. See, when the water get deep, then we see who can really swim. See, then you find out that some people was really just running on the bottom. Can't swim. See, when we go up there, right? See, once we start going up, see, once you pass 6, the air start getting real thin. And you see who's gasping for air. That's why you gotta stay building. See, when you keep your sword up and you keep the grass low, you're gonna see all that type of stuff. See, when it's, a couple people on here said that, you in a place and you may be the only, or it may be only a few 5%. You got to stay building. Because see, it's people out there that's looking, but they don't know where you at. See, that's one of the keys of having the knowledge, ever having the knowledge. See, if nothing else, right? You stray as deep into the wilderness as you want. You see, once you had the knowledge, the knowledge degree in 1 to 10. even if you can't quote it, you know where the knowledge is, right? And how to get back home. See, that's different from somebody who has no idea where home is. See, the different people that want to come around you and deal with negativity. See, when you stay building, then look, they either gotta make their move or they gotta stray away. See, a lot of people, once you build it and people like, yeah, see, nah, I don't really want to go around him, man. He's gonna be talking that 5% shit I don't want to hear. And the people that want to learn, you know, there's people who say, "Oh, you want to talk that shit? Yeah, why don't you go over there with him, man? Yeah, that's shit he's talking." See, that's how you start expressing your power. That's magnetism right there. See, that's how you make like attract and unlike repel. Is you got to stay building. That's the key. To the one of the first keys. Because you can look at it all of it, as building. Studying your lessons, all of these things. You building up your power. You building up your energy. That you got to express it out. You see what I'm saying? And when you start expressing it out, see, all of that becomes, these are hurdles for somebody that's trying to infiltrate your space. You know what I'm saying? See, we all heard that what's we heard the wisdom, what I mean, the words that were spoken on that, right? That Allah said, look, the only person that's going to be able to give me is one of y'all. See, that's because, we stay building. See, this is not just, brute force, like, you person infiltrates a gang and then, you just got to do violence. And now you undercover with them. You see, you come around people that stay building. See, now you having to deal with that. That's a barrier. See, building, not just memorizing and quoting. That's a part of it. But we don't just stop right there. At least, not, see, a lot of times I need to stop doing that. Right? Saying, in my time, because in reality, look, it's got to be your time too. But y'all can get off my channel. Like I said, it wasn't that the clock just hit a certain time and the calendar hit a certain date. On the Gregorian calendar, on top of that, and then you're going to say conditions was a certain way because that was the date on the calendar. No, the conditions was that way because of the people and what they was doing. So, y'all might find other ways. That's reality. But I haven't seen it. people who don't stay building, has been prerequisite to people falling victim. You know what I'm saying? But everything, in terms you're saying, like, where's the numbers and all of that, you gotta stay building, man. You know, building on math, building on your particular craft in life. Whatever it is that we doing, right? We supposed to be the best. You know, even in school, right? Duma YD used to always say that. If you alive, you shouldn't be getting no B's, D's, C's, and F's. You know what I'm saying? You should be getting all A's. Whatever it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? That's the it seems simple. But see, like I said, it's action involved. So you can't be the maker if you ain't building. Hand in hand. Got a couple more people came in. Alkim Salam, Divine Understanding, Phil G, Wise Ruler. You got a point right there, Divine Understanding. Those that don't stay building have subsequently built multiple prison houses. Yeah, because see, justice is a penalty reward for deeds, actions, ideas, and inactions. You know what I'm saying? Because these ideas manifest your actions, and your reactions, which brings about certain conditions and however it is that how you coming out. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're, staying stuck in hell, right? Whether you're dealing with love, hell, or right? Or death, hell, and destruction. You don't make it out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not complicated, right? It's not complicated, but sometimes it can be a labor. You know what I'm saying? Depending on, I guess, your personality or whatever. But I mean, all we got is us. It's not, it's not nothing up in the sky or under the ground that's gonna come and cause anything to happen. So, for all those reasons, you know what I'm saying? But, make sure that you don't fool yourself. into thinking that, just conversations, just conversations with other people that got the same knowledge that you have is building. You know what I'm saying? Always remember that, you got all those planes of energy. You know what I mean? So it's not just that you sitting there and you speaking the knowledge and you asking people today's mathematics. People want to see the right. You see what I'm saying? Like they know that you talk a good game. They might like to hear you talk a good game. But then they also seeing what you're doing and how you coming out from what you're doing. So see, all those things is the case. See, you're not supposed to get caught up. But you got to remember that the people that you're supposed to be going out there to teach, right? They take things on face value. So if you're just walking around, right, with all the keys to the universe, up here. But you never manifest them out there. How's people that take things on face value, are you really trying to teach them? It's some people that you never say nothing to, right? And one day you'll be somewhere and they'll somebody tell you like, yeah, that person said that you taught them. Or that, they got the knowledge from you. And, I really like, I might have seen that person around. I might even know them. You see, what it is that whatever you was doing, whatever they seen you doing, even though you never interacted with them, they saw you building. You know what I'm saying? And they was able, maybe they couldn't approach you for whatever reason. But they recognized that you planted the seeds. So when they did get in a situation where they could approach the knowledge, right? That was their inspiration. You know what I'm saying? As they, moved around the world as a 5%, they still kept some of those examples that they seen you providing, you know what I'm saying, in their travels. But that only happens if you stay building. You got Supreme Man. Supreme Man, I was just watching some of your favorite sporting league. Just watching a little X-League football, formerly known as the LFL. Me and Supreme Man, we enjoy a good LFL match. Because that's how we do. We got born right here. We was on a simple topic today, which I don't know, I think maybe March might end up being we might stay down here. You gotta, we go up there, in the clouds, where the air gets thin and all that, but we gotta come back down here to take a bite and a sip of water. Certain love from the neighborhood. What's the deal? Missed us by that much. Supreme Man said, I had many people come up to me and say I taught them, yet we never physically built, and give me details. They were listening, but I never knew it. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. But that only happens when you stay building. Like when you approach any situation, right? Do you think of today's supreme mathematics, right? Just in terms of, how you're going to approach, how you're going to approach the endeavors of today. Do you think about it in terms of, things that you encounter, right? And, how today's mathematics not just is going to apply, but how you're going to make it apply. You know what I'm saying? We in the midst with all these 85 and 10%. And the phenomenon that we getting from them constantly is 85 and 10% shit. Are you gonna, remain yourself, mentally as well as physically? Or you're going to get, caught up in, the ignorance or the emotion or, whatever else up to date. See, that's when you stop building, right? And the people that's around you see it. And so then, what is this mathematics shit you talking about? A principle, it's got to be at least somewhat consistent there. Some principles, you got to balance. You got good days and bad days. And then there's some principles that, look, if you go against that principle one time, you're no longer the same. Like that's it. That's you forever. It doesn't matter how much you had on this side of the scale. That's automatic disqualification. Supreme Man said mathematics serves as a daily guideline. It sets the tone in the direction that you embody. Any way now with knowledge you can control it. Yeah. Or, at the end of the day, right, you could become a savage in the pursuit of whatever. And it's not all negative. You could, you're not thinking about the knowledge, whatever it is that you go to do at your job. Not necessarily the job, but just the way you interacting with people. Your co-workers, the people that coming to the job, if you got customers there, whatever the case might be. So now, right, look, I've been to people's job, right, and asked for their honorable name, and they like, yeah, who's that? Then when they realize who you talking about, they're, oh, you talking about the God? Oh, why you just ain't say that? Yeah, yo, God, man, yeah, one of your brothers out here. Because he ain't changed, he stays building. To the point where, that's how much respect they have for you. This used to be a what's the name back in the days. And that we used to say that in particular, right? That a righteous man that an unrighteous man that does something good, right, is not going to be equivalent to a righteous man that does something wrong. You know what I'm saying? Their character and their culture, right, is gonna outweigh, this one deed. You know what I'm saying? Or another way they should say, is one unrighteous deed or act, is not gonna take a man out of the realm of being God. You know what I'm saying? And one righteous act is not going to take the devil out of the realm of being the devil. Son Love says, sometimes when I'm building, I be having dudes crying. That's when I know this life of learning is real. People are really listening. All right, now when you saying crying, right? Because this is New York. So we, slang, crying can mean laughing. I don't know if that's general slang, but you need to clarify here. But either way, saying that, people is reacting. You know what I'm saying? Or so they crying tears. Yeah. You must be building on some heavy signs. You might want to let up on the gas pedal someday. You ain't got to pump the brakes. You just let up on the gas a little bit. Because see, look, that's the science. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, staying building, right? Just like we say with the lessons, we got the meat and the milk. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be pounding people's brain cells. You know what I'm saying? We here to build people up, not break them down. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's the same thing. You understand what I mean? It's like, even if you're working out physically, right? You know what I'm saying? You can, it's a limit to how hard you can go. That's what steroids is about, is you can go past that limit. You know what I'm saying? But if you beat the body up too much, you can break down now and start having health problems instead of becoming more healthy. You see what I'm saying? So it's the same way, you beating them in the head mentally, right? And it's even if they want the knowledge, right? It's one of the things where, like, if you You know, if you beat a pig, you know, and you keep, you know, torturing an animal when they babies, you see what I'm saying? They ain't never going to grow and develop to their full potential. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, see people like that. Look, this is my advice, right? Only build with them for 8 minutes and 20 seconds. And then give them a chance to digest that. You said I give it to them regularly. They crying because they fallen victim. What you mean they fell victim? Like they had the knowledge and they fell victim, or they're falling victim to, you know, just things in life right now. So Booney, welcome to the channel. You said power is the ability to empower others. The ability to empower others is power. You know, when you say power is, you know, as in if that's the full definition of power, I don't know if I agree with that. You know, but it is, you know, I do agree with this statement a lot, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of ways. You understand what I'm saying? You know, meaning that, see, if you know, if you really got power, right? One said power is also the ability to fuck some shit up. I mean, absolutely. But you know, getting back to the more positive light right here, and why I agree with you is that you know, there's a difference between power and control. You see what I'm saying? See, if I wanted to control everybody that come to this channel, right, then I wouldn't tell you stuff I'll be telling. Because then I would fuck up my ability to control everybody. You see what I'm saying? But see, I can empower everybody with the same knowledge I got. You see, it ain't going. See, you can't. It's I'm not going to come down in levels or nothing. It don't work like that. You know, I give you some power, and then now you know, ain't nothing. But see, control is that way. If I say, okay, now you control that over there, then that's less places that I control. See, that's when you're dealing with six. You're not dealing with equality. You see what I'm saying? And six is limited. You know, it's a limited number. If I got six and I give you one, I only got five. You see, if I got equality and I give you one, I still got equality. I want to ask about brothers building from knowledge versus building from understanding. That is actual facts versus personal views. Can you build on the differences and how they might work together? Well, I would change, if I'm understanding, no pun intended there, but if I'm understanding what you're saying correctly, right? You're saying building from knowledge versus building from hearsay and opinions, because, understanding has to be based on actual facts. You know what I'm saying? There's no, maybe you need to clarify the question a little bit because, see, like right now, you put a difference without a distinction. You know what I mean? Like when they say 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, it's a difference without a distinction. So, building from knowledge versus building from understanding. So do you mean, building from knowledge versus talking bullshit? Because I mean, that's my views on it. That's you asked me my views. Like if you're not building from knowledge, wisdom and understanding, then you're talking bullshit. Supreme Man said, power is the ability to move something mentally or physically. Power scientifically is organized energy or force. Anything organized has a mathematical base. I mean, well, certain love, and that's these people better than me. You know what I'm saying? But if they got so much water under the bridge that you tell them the truth and it makes them cry, right? In my mind, right, the first thing, like these don't seem like children. So, maybe 8 minutes and 20 seconds is all you should be sparing them anyway, because you got work to do. So what I meant earlier about 8 minutes and 20 seconds, it takes like 500 seconds or 8 minutes and 20 seconds to reach the planet. So see, sometimes when you're speaking to somebody, right, they're not traveling at the same rate as us. See, we moving faster than light and sound. So for those people, you gotta wait and see. You might be talking to them, right? If it's 8 minutes to 20 seconds and they don't understand, they might not even be here. They're not in this world with us. You out there frozen on Pluto, and it's going to take that long for you for that person to get any type of understanding, right, of what you said. Universal Sham God. Yeah, I heard this story too, but I think is the It's a long story. We'll get into that. We'll get into that on another live stream. That's a whole live stream. That's a because Sham Guy, he used to write the sentiment, right? He's the y'all got a sentiment that's been circulating right now, but he's the originator of that. So he used to put a lot of stories in there, you know what I'm saying, in terms of, him, his time with law and everything, you know what I'm saying? And so, there's quite a few stories, that Sham Guy was able to relate throughout time because of that. But we can actually get into some of those because I used to get this son of man, when when I was first getting the knowledge, and at the time, just getting the knowledge, I'm reading these stories, and it's like, but that's a whole live stream unto itself. So CIY says some brothers I encounter all day long start to build with the phrase how I see it, but there don't be no facts backing it up. Is that understanding? No, not at all. There's a difference between just reading comprehension and understanding. Like when I dealt with Christianity, right? I had reading comprehension of the Bible, and the stuff that people saying to me. I understand the words that you're saying, the ideas is clear to me, but I don't understand what this is about. Not getting the best part. You know what I'm saying? And so if a person, if a person, knowledge means to look, understanding means to see, right? Okay, I might be tall, so that gives me a different perspective. You might be on the left side, so that might give you a different perspective, right? This other person might be looking at it from the top, so that might give them a different perspective, right? But there's a reality of something that we're looking at, right? There's something that we're acknowledging here, right? So, we may all have a different perspective on it. But if we all looking at the same thing, right? And one of us see a can of soda, somebody else sees a Bengal tiger, and somebody else sees a basketball. Somebody's off here. Somebody ain't, we not looking at the same. So see, when we all have our different perspectives, right? I'm supposed to be able to describe my perspective to you, and then you could say, oh, snap, you know what? From the perspective where I was at, I wasn't able to see that because I was on the other side. But that you describing it, yeah, that's. So the thing you looking at, it got NBA on the side. Yeah, see, I can't see that from where I'm standing, right? But yeah, what I'm looking at, this is, we should be able to do that. That's it. That's what we do when we build. So, when the person say, okay, how I see it, right? That's supposed to be, okay, how I see it based on, the facts. Other than that, I don't really, you gotta, separate the principles, not separate them, but you got to see the distinction between the principles and the people who's living out the principles. You know what I mean? So uh, that may be what they're saying, right? They might be saying how I see it, how I see it, how I see it, right? But from what you're describing, right, what they mean is, I feel like, that's a difference. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, people misuse words all the time. So you got to be aware of that. See, that's the thing. You can't fool yourself. This knowledge, right, will allow you to fool yourself. If you just keep reading the knowledge degrees and all the lessons, right, and then, you delusion yourself into thinking that got something to do with you. Like right now, if somebody walks in the room where you at, right, and say, yo, Mr. President, you in there? See, you're not going to answer because you know you're not the president. You see, if we say who's the original man, you want to start talking like that mean like we talking about you. No. That's where it gets twisted. So we have here righteous Allah is back. I don't know. Look, I'm gonna give you a shot because even the devil gets a chance to clean himself up. I'm gonna let you know right now. If I'm not even gonna do it. You know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna do it like what you call it? We're gonna do it like Survivor. If you start disrupting, I'm gonna ask for votes. If you get voted off the island, that's how we do. But you asked a question there. You said, is 120 administered or if it's just given out? So I'm not really sure what you mean by administered. Look, I don't just give it out. Because, first of all, and this is just how I look. Look, we just was talking about, look, this is my opinion, right? I'm not just giving out lessons to quote. Like I'm talking about in general, that's not the Darkim experience. Like if somebody gets the knowledge from me, that's not what you get. You don't just get a whole bunch of memorized regurgitation. Like if all you want to do is, have the lessons to read them, go down to the mosque. Buy it off Amazon, do whatever you want to do. If you get it from me, you're going to get it how I got it. I'm under the impression that that is a good way to get it. You know what I'm saying? Look, as funny as that sounds. You can go, anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a monopoly on the truth. You see, in order to get the total package, where you got the lessons, and then you're going to come back and you're going to ask me, to clarify things. You're gonna walk with me, in my endeavors, and we got to do things, and we got to know how to act and react and respond, and all of this. That all these things that's going on around us. Then you're gonna have to get it in a way that's conducive to that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, I'm from the program. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, Allah came out, he did his teaching, those brothers did their teaching, those brothers, and I'm just a brother in the line of that. You see what I'm saying? So in my mind, that's how you do it. You know what I'm saying? There's lots of people that had the lessons. All of the information that's in the lessons is publicly available. We go and look all these things up, right? And we find that, this is the knowledge that was around. Right? We look at the Wisdom Building Greek, and we see all the DNA, the Human Genome Project, and we see that it lines up. That being said, until the law came, we was the people. You know what I'm saying? Not saying me. I'm speaking for myself, but I'm just saying, all of us was like that. 15, 16-year-olds that's out there that can teach the truth of the universe. That happened because we stayed building on that program. See, righteous law, this is strange here, man. You said power as an adjective for the effects of knowledge. Control is a verb that is an action of power. I'm gonna just leave you alone with that one. You know, but I'm gonna tell you this: don't play with me. Like we discussed yesterday, how you're not sure who you are. We established yesterday that you're not one of us. So I don't know what your way of life is, what your walk of life is. But stick to that. You know what I'm saying? As you've learned over the time that you've been coming on here, is that you can't really troll me. Every time you try to troll me, you end up under the bridge. See, anybody can come and learn. Everybody can come and learn. And anybody can get kicked the fuck out of here too. So, as the brother asked me a question a little bit earlier, uh, about the difference between, the difference between, building from your opinions and building based on knowledge and wisdom. So, being that you're not one of us, I don't know what knowledge and wisdom you're basing it on to, tell me what this means. Just generally, I could tell you don't have that great of a grasp of, English language, the syntax and, kind of, the loose rules that apply to English. Uh, yeah, I think you should try someplace else. Personally. I'm not sure, maybe am I like the holy grail of trolling? But see, in a lot of ways, I got empathy for you. See, because there's people around you that have failed you. I don't know where, maybe on every level. but it's definitely manifesting itself, right here. I mean, look, you come on the day when, look, this is the title, man. You stay building. See, if I was just talking about basketball or rap music, then he'd be able to blend in a little bit easier. If we just, talking about, uh, what kind of liquor we drink last night. You see, you come in when we build it and you don't know what you're doing. We harmonizing and you coming in off key, man, and super loud. I don't know, man. So look, hey, this one's, as a matter of fact, it's already up. That's this is representative right here. This picture is representative, of how I feel about the people that have failed you, and brought you to a level where this is what you do with your time. Government TV has been a minute. You said if every copy is a meta original, then who will benefit from being truly original? What is a meta original? What is the average age of viewers on here? Actually, I can tell you that. Let's see if we can. Let's go into the. Guess that's over here. It looks like on average, a little over free cipher. At least that's the people that got their what's the name there, because there's some statistics that, when I look at it, there's some people that I know is watching, but their stats ain't showing up right there. So, but that's what it says, I guess, the people who filled that out on the yeah, that's Phil G, but that's what I'm saying. So, but for instance, right, I don't see Wise with an S on here. Like his age group says 0%. You know what I'm saying? I don't see harmony equality on here. Like this is the last 28 days, right? So it says I didn't get any female viewership. It says 0% female viewership for the last 28 days. So this is not 100% accurate. But I would say, generally speaking, you about correct there. So you said a reference or a copy of. So the question is, if everyone, the question again here is, if every copy is a meta original, then who will benefit from being truly original? I don't know if I understand the question. What Yeah, you probably gotta break that down a little more. Middle-aged adults means the God is teaching parents who in turn teach their children. I'd rather just teach the children. I don't like these old people. That's something that's come up like in the last years. I started hearing that in order to teach kids, you gotta teach their parents. Now, you gotta interact with the parents and everything, but I'm just saying that that's a little bit new to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just tell me straight. Like, I don't even think my parents, like, if this had to filter through them to get to me, it wouldn't have been the same. I don't need you picking out. I don't need you plucking out. You trying to make it all perfect for your baby. Nah, I need the raw shit. So you should. I understand the concept, and I deal with parents. It's not like I'm against like, nah, we need to hide this from the parents or something. You know what I'm saying? But me, is give me the real shit. We said here, I'm not trolling an A like attract bill on 120, attract 120. All right, look. All right, look. Let's start here, right? You know, if you're sincere and you want to learn, right? What's your honorable name? See, because you gotta start over. You start over from the beginning, right? And do it the right way. See, because look, I don't teach people I don't know. It's not even. I'll move on because who knows what you up to. But all this, 120 stuff you talking, you're not even there. It's nutty professor type stuff, man. I mean, one would even think, like, if, why don't you, there's bigger channels and people you probably get a better reaction out of. But at any rate, like I said, we move on. Uh, we got any questions, man, before we wind this one down right here? Because we came on a little bit late. Y'all can see I actually I I got up out of bed, this was actually, I was you know, and I had bought me a large plate of jerk chicken earlier, and I only, I still got a considerable amount left. So, uh, when, I was in the mindset of warming that up, and then, once I eat that, it crash right back out. You know what I'm saying? So, don't say, see, when you hear people say, yo, man, you know, Darkim is this way and that way, y'all can tell them, man, nah, man. God came through You know what I'm saying? But yeah, complete. You got to give them a chance to formulate. These things. You need a chance to formulate because everybody ain't sharp. See, those is all the things. That's what I'm saying. Those is the things that keep certain people away from you. See, these are things, when you stay building and you stay applying the principles of mathematics, to where, look, I need to see, what your foundation is. So righteous Allah said he's not sure. So go ahead, let's go ahead and have this vote. Let's go ahead and do the vote. You're gonna get, I think you're gonna catch a digital DP right here. Is that how they say it in the West Coast? You're gonna get a digital DP. So type 1 in the box if you voting righteous Allah off the island. Type 2 in the box if the devil gets a chance to clean himself up. So we give righteous Allah 2 chances. I mean, come up to the school on Monday and Tuesday. He said you're a type 3 because you enjoy watching me clown. Yeah, but I don't know if that's a what, that's another option. Type 3 in the box if you think righteous is entertaining. Sometimes I don't like to get too caught up with these people, right? And then we move away. We move away from the actual build. There's been times like that where we spent hour and a half, and then I don't know if people was really, that's not what the people tune in for. He said, I thought they build on 120 amongst the peace guys. At least they used to. How you know what we used to do? just full stop. Where's your paperwork? How you know what we used to do? But you see, he used that term, right? The same one that I said in the beginning that I got to stop doing that. Saying that, in my time or in that time, back, like, nah, because it's not the time that made the people. like, yeah, the times and the conditions and the environment and all of that, mold people, their character and their principles and stuff. But I'm saying that is what the people is living out in any given time that's creating that environment. Because you got other people, like, I'm sure other cities got that. It might not be as distinct as New York, right? But, in New York, when you cross in Manhattan, when you cross 96th Street, you can see a difference. Like literally on 98th Street is projects, right? On 95th Street, there's, homes in the millions of dollars. So Righteous decided to spare us. Righteous decided to spare us. He said he's going. Toodles. What's an honorable name? I thought you said you was going. Look, I got a suggestion for you. Go in the YouTube search thing, right? And type in cosplay. So you would do better on that type of channel, right? Because see, everybody on that type of channel is pretending to be somebody that they not. Righteous universal freedom, Allah is your righteous attribute. See, like I said, type cosplay, type cosplay in the search box right there on YouTube, right? You see the channels that come up, that's what they do. They pretend to be superheroes and cartoon characters, right? So you blend in over there. It's like when you're doing some counterfeit shit, right? You doing some counterfeit shit, you don't go around the real people. If you're trying to pass off some counterfeit bills, don't take them to the United States Treasury. They're the ones that make the bills. Wise with an S says sometimes brothers need to come up to the school and build. I disagree. All the time, motherfuckers need to come up here and build, man, so we can know who you are. 120 is magnetic like that. You are 120? I bet you are. You right there where it says, what is a real devil? Smack dab in the 140. Full-fledged. You know, I don't know where YouTube finds these people. But you know, at any rate, you know, we have any legitimate questions before we get up out of here? You know, before we get up out of here, man, you know. You can see, y'all know I you know, the level of patience that I have, you know, I could be here, you know, I got stuff to do tomorrow. But a lot of times I don't have stuff to do, you know. And so, you know, I can sit here and eviscerate you. Yeah, I don't know. But, you know, that's I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you some grace. I'm gonna help you out and get rid of you. You know, sometimes that's it. That's the best thing. You know, just let them start over. You know, YouTube. All you gotta do is get a new Gmail account. You know, and you know, start over. Shaka Noodle, I don't know. You know, these people. I gotta send them out to Vegas, and you gotta introduce them to some ladies on the strip because you know the lack of relations is starting to affect their brain cells in a negative way. You know, but just in general, they need to be occupied. They need to be they need something to pass the time. you know, somebody to have in a corner to let them know that, maybe there's better things to do with your life than be an internet troll, man. You know, but you know what it is? It could be because, you got some guys that is making a real living trolling. Like he might see himself like Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? So he feel like, I got a small channel, so he come here and practice, and then he step up to the big leagues like Charleston White. I don't know if that's what he's thinking, but you need to go practice someplace else. Why I said, is the true color of the sun black? Yo, they're exposing game right now. But some of the things, man, it's like, one thing about this new exposing, right, is nothing is really being exposed that's less than like 20 years old or something. And that just leaves things open. You know what I'm saying? First of all, to the question of, well, why are you saying something about this now? But I digress. But you say here, wise is the true color of the sun black. So the sun is gaseous. The main thing, uh, in terms of all of that, what color is the sun type thing, is just to understand that, what we visualizing, right? Seeing it for what it really is. What we visualizing is light, photons that's emanating from the explosions going on the sun. I mean, we would have to research it, seeing love, certain love. But uh, and guarantee, you added something more when you said that long and that hot, right? Uh, but here's a question, right? Uh, what about uh, uh, the burner, like on the stove? That's my point being that that's gases, and you don't particularly see any you don't particularly see any colors, right? Except the color of the flame. The sun is also a small percentage of carbon. Well, all of the elements exist in the sun, but not in a solid form that we know things. Like you got to remember, it's not, fire on a level that we comprehend, right? Like this is what I'm saying. Water, depending on where you live, right? Water can come out the faucet that burn the skin off your hand, right? We can't even take boiling water. And you got to think, water can't even exist 1,000 miles away from the sun, right? It's too hot for water to even exist. So see the uh the you know we can only kind of comprehend that in mathematical terms. But you said the core of the sun is carbon black atoms. Um, I mean, if that's something that I would have to research. And it's a little bit of a chicken or an egg question to me too, right? Is that let's say we take this sheet of paper, right? Now, what would you describe this paper as? Like, it's actually not a color, it's the absence of color, but what would you describe this paper as? Anybody? Okay, it's clean. But in terms of colors, what would you describe it as? White, right? This is white. Now, now, if I set it on fire and then say it's black, which is, when you say the sun is black because it's burning, right? So if I set this on fire and then I I say that the remains, and then I say that the paper is black, right? Is that accurate? See, there's a lot of things you hear people say. People say the sun is black and all of that. And yeah, we want the same and we roll with that. But when you actually start breaking it down, what was being said. But divine reality said the core of the sun is carbon atoms. Let me see, we can look that up. I never heard it was any particular atoms. Well, this is from NASA right here. It says here the core is the hottest part of the sun. Nuclear reactions here where hydrogen is fused to form helium power the sun's heat and light. Temperatures top 27 million degrees Fahrenheit, and it's about 86,000 miles, 138,000 kilometers thick. The density of the sun's core is about 150 grams per cubic centimeter. That is approximately 8 times the density of gold or 13 times the density of lead. So, hydrogen and helium, in my experience, is colorless gases. Yeah, I remember that. I remember, that was one of the moments as a kid, right? In the '85 world, those are two things that stood out. Uh, when the first shuttle crashed. Well, actually, I think one crashed like in the early '70s, but when that one crashed in like '85, what was that, like '85, maybe early '86, something like that. And both events, I came home from school and it's on the news. I remember when Reagan got shot, and I come in the house with my physical, my older brother, and I just remember at that time it used to be a soap opera called The Edge of the Night. It was and so whenever we came home from school, either The Guiding Light or The Edge of the Night would be on TV. And after The Edge of the Night went off, that's when like cartoons, Tom and Jerry, Batman, all that type of stuff used to come on. $6 Million Man. And I just remember when I came in the house and the news was on, I was like, damn, G, Tom and Jerry ain't coming on today. So look, I asked my brother, like, yo, what's going on? And he just said, yo, I think Reagan got shot. And then right when he said that, they rolled the tape and we saw him get shot right there. You know what I'm saying? And when the shuttle crashed, I remember like at the time, the rest, it was like a long hallway like this, right? And then the rooms was off for the there really was only one room all the way in the back off to this side, right? And all the other rooms was on that side. Like the kitchen was there, but on the kitchen is just a door. And then it opens up. It's a big space right there for the living room. And then you go in the hallway over here to the right. And that's where like my room is at. So I'm going in the back towards my room. And when I pass the opening to pass the living room, the TV is on. But nobody's watching the TV, but the TV's on. And as I'm passing, it's like, yo, it looked like I just saw the space shuttle blow up. So I back up, right? I walk backwards and I look at the TV, right? And then I see that they roll the tape again. And shit, like, yo, the hell just happened? And then the next day when well, not the next day, as I'm watching the news, they're like, yeah, that happened. But yeah, by the next day, everybody was saying that needed NASA means need another 7 astronauts, which that was cold blooded to me. But yeah, I do recall people saying that. Yeah, I recall OJ getting chased, but at the time, I didn't really believe it. Like they showing the news, they're like OJ Simpson is in this Jeep that's in a high speed chase with the police, and my mom, like, what will OJ be doing in the car running from the police? Like, what are you talking about? But nah, I didn't believe that one at all. And then the other one that stands out, of course, but I was a grown man then, was the World Trade Center. The first one, I actually was down there when I found out. Like I get down there and I'm wondering, like, yo, why is the streets so empty? And somebody said, yo, there was a bomb over there. Same thing, like, bro, stop it. Like, if there was a bomb over there, we wouldn't even be here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I look up, I see the building. What are you talking about? Then I see the news, and it was real. And then the second one, uh, that was a little bit crazy. Where I didn't think, I didn't think, uh, I didn't think it was real when I'm seeing it on TV because I got up and I got the young up to go to school. And then, when they used to leave to go to school, I used to go back to rest. And so I go back to rest, and for whatever reason, I turned over it. And when I turned over it, I see the World Trade Center on fire. One building though. So and at the time I'm thinking, yo, this CGI shit is getting, like the technology is getting crazy because, they're doing this CGI shit. Like, I'm thinking this is some kind of demonstration that they showing, what would happen if the World Trade Center was on fire. And I'm hearing the lady, she's saying like, yo, we don't know what's going on, something. And then right then, so, when I saw that, at first, like I jump up a little bit, like, yo. So then right then, the guy calls me. He's like, yo, God, you saw what just happened? So that's why I'm like, yo, God, this is real? Like, I'm thinking this is some computer generated, but yeah, those was a couple of I guess news events, man, that really kind of stuck out. But getting back to the research on the sun, like I said, a lot of things you gotta study it yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you hear these different things, the sun is black, uh, just various things. It don't matter where it come from, it don't matter who it come from. You know what I'm saying? You gotta research it so that you can show and prove it for yourself. See what I'm saying? Because there's things that, you hear common, it's almost like common knowledge. But it turns out that so there's a science to the sun, you know what I mean, of the sun, at least, that they've observed so far. Family was watching the OJ trial like a movie with popcorn, especially because his lawyer was a friend of the family. You know, uh, I watched the OJ trial too. I watched it. I'm fairly sure. Like I watched the whole, every day of it. Uh, I had to actually see all of the documentaries, because when I saw the trial and just, the way they laced it up at the trial, I was like, yo, I don't know how they frame OJ, but starting from whenever he made that book, If I Did It or whatever, that's when it was like, all right, OJ, not a good idea. Yeah, Rodney King. You know, there was some other events, but I don't remember it being on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like you had that blackout. Who was that? When was that blackout? Like Guy Bill. Yeah, if I did it was like, yeah, I did it. Yeah, it was like, bro, this you can't be doing this. Yeah, that was God Bill. Yeah, that was a seminal event right there too. But yeah, I wasn't watching the news then. You know what I mean? It was one of the types of things where look, uh, you know, the next morning it was daytime. I got dressed and went outside and played like regular. It wasn't. You know, I didn't realize how big of a deal it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know that I really understood that it was the whole city, you know, and just what that meant. I wasn't on that plane of thought yet. Right. Now, the 2003 blackout, you know, it wasn't the same. I mean, it was a bigger blackout in terms of you know how much electricity was taken out, right? But he was rescuing people from the elevators during the 2003 event. You know, it didn't impact the city the same way. You know, one theory that I heard of what was the difference is that they said in the one that happened in the 70s, uh, unemployment was like 30% or something like that. But that the one that happened in 2003, unemployment was like less than 5% or something. So they was like, you know, the the one in the 70s, you know, everybody was kind of just outside with nothing to do when the lights went out. So it was like, you know, everybody got busy. But they was like, when the one happened in 2003, that most people was like, it happened at the end of the day. You know, everybody's just trying to get home from work, you know, and hoping the lights come on so they can go to work tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it just was a different event, you know. I remember the next day at the blackout, the one in the 70s, my brother came around the corner. Remember when people used to go roller skating and they used to tie their sneakers around, tie their shoelaces and hang their sneakers around their neck like that. He came around the corner. He came around the corner with like 15 pairs of Converse tied around his neck like that. And he was counting a whole bunch of money. And he gives me and my physicals, sneakers in our size, and give us a couple of dollars. And it's like we lived on this hill. So he came walking up the hill. He stopped, hit us off, and then he just walked straight up the hill and walked over the hill. So that is one of my memories of that blackout. Yeah, now I couldn't leave it. Actually, you know what's funny? In that blackout, I had just got sent home. We was outside playing in the courtyard, and you know, back in the days, the old people they used to play cards and all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So they going to it's like a lady in the building. You know, everybody's friendly at that time. You know what I'm saying? It's the guy ciphers, and so you know, it was this one family that lived on the first floor where everybody used to go over there, you know, at night and they play their cards, do their drinking, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so they was outside. You know, that's how I used to be in New York back in the days. At least the places I used to live, everybody's outside playing chess, checkers, cards, backgammon, all types of stuff, jump rope, skillies, the little handball that you play on the wall. You know, everybody's right there in front of the building in the courtyard, et cetera, et cetera. And so it just reached a time where it was getting nighttime, and they was like, yo, we getting ready to go over there and do what we do. So look, y'all go upstairs now. So we go upstairs and we in the kitchen, we got something to eat, and we trying to turn the TV on. But this is back in the days, right? You know, so we already said that the demographic that watches the show, so y'all are gonna remember what I'm talking about, is this is back in the days when you had the hanger, on the TV to try to catch the reception, the antenna. And so the TV is showing the little black and white, you know, static screen or whatever. And so my brother is over there trying to fix the picture so we can watch the TV. And as I'm looking at him mess with the antenna, I see the light flicker. So, you know, this is light flicker at the time. You know, I noticed it, but it didn't mean nothing. And then it flickered like 2 more times, and then it went out. And then I heard him come past me like that, and I just reached out and grabbed him, and then he's running towards the window. But I don't know what he got on his mind. And we get to the fire escape, you know, because at the time, I'm like, yo, you know what's going on? We get to the fire escape, and he's like, yo, the lights is out, man, you know, all up and down the whole block. So I'm thinking he caused the lights to go out. But I'm thinking at first, like, it's just in the house. I'm not even thinking it's the house. I'm thinking it's that light bulb. But so we get there, and we at the fire escape, but you know, we don't know what's going on. And then all these dudes came out. There was like 75 dudes that came out with all black on. And it was a bank. It was a bank at the bottom of the hill. And you just seen mad flashlights down by the bank. And then all of a sudden the cops came and surrounded the bank. And we're watching, me and my 2 physicals, we watching this transpire, and my parents come walking up the fire escape. Right? So then, you know, they just like, yo, y'all all right? On my thing. So then we just kind of out there on the fire escape, you know, watching this mad people coming out from all over and going to loot. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got all black on, they got flashlights. And at some point, this is like later, like right before we was getting ready to go to rest. My physical that had the Converse, he came up the fire escape. And then he was like, yo, my parents were like, yo, where you was? And he was like, yo, I was at my girl house. He made up something. When we see him the next day, he had like 15, 20 pairs of Converse. But yeah, that was I don't know what the word for stuff like that is. It was some kind of it was outstanding. It's an outstanding childhood memory. So Divine Reality says here, Dr. Richard D. King breaks the science of the sundown and its relationship to melanin. NASA also has a breakdown that includes carbon within its core. I mean, some things, you gotta present, in terms of like, because it's actually interesting, if you got some links or something, maybe you could put them in the comments of this video when it's over. But just in general, there's lots of things that we've heard, said and repeated, right? And even in terms of a lot of things, like a lot of times that research, right, will be based on some flawed basic principles. Especially in the field of physics. You know what I'm saying? Other things, I mean, of course, there's things that's, unknown about biology and chemistry too, but, the body is right here. You know what I'm saying? In terms of, you being able to experience, you being able to study, et cetera, biology is a much easier proposition than studying the sun. And by the way, who is Dr. Richard D. King? Because all of that stuff is important. There's actually like, if you can Google that topic on YouTube, and that's actually being covered quite a lot about basically academic fraud, and the different ways that it can be done. You know what I'm saying? From a corporation or industry actually funding the research, right, to come out with the conclusions that they want, different ways that the data that comes from the experiments can be kind of manipulated, through the method of calculation. You know what I mean? However it is that we calculate, the values that we measuring, right? The values that we use to measure the qualities of, whatever it is that we experiment on. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, does 50% of people, are 50% of people susceptible to this condition, right? So now it depends on, where we get the numbers for the whole. You know what I'm saying? Where we get, so it's 50%, but did you count all of the people? Or did you only count the people that had a particular kind of condition, that also participated in the experiment? You know what I mean? All of these different things. So, it's important to know, who's the author, what about them, say right here, you said Richard D. King is an author and a scholar, right? A scholar in what? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be an English major and then, well, I'm not going to say you can't be, but that's not going to, put as much weight on your uh, analysis of physical physics. The same way you would do, like, look, if, somebody comes up to you, right, and they say, look, I was building with Firstborn and BG, right? And he told me this, right? Would that carry more weight to you than if somebody said, look, I was just building with Righteous Allah and he told me this? That was actually a thing where there was a time when we wouldn't read nothing that didn't have the author's name on it. Like, the plus lessons and all of that. That's the name. I know, I understand. But, with the plus lessons and all of that type of stuff, if somebody gave you something, that would be the first thing that you look for. Complete said it's still that time for me. I mean, yeah, for me too. That's why I asked who Richard D. King is. But that was one of the things we was taught as kids, was to always look at who's the author, you know what I'm saying, and just the kind of context that this thing is written in. But we didn't went into I guess some other tangents there. You know what I'm saying? In the meantime, in between time, man, just keep in mind that, you gotta stay building. I mean, look, if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's build or destroy. So see right there, that's telling you that, look, it's a decision there. You know what I'm saying? There's a decision and there's action here. You know what I'm saying? Just taking the righteous name and, saying peace. Every time you walk in the room, you're saying, God at the end of every sentence, can't get a glass of water, God. No doubt, God. This water sure is cold, God. It's because I keep it in the freezer, God. That's not. But when you really constructing, right, on a level where something is being made born, alive, right, from what it is that you're constructing, now you build. You know what I'm saying? It's not just an ideas where, you're accumulating, more bullshit in your mind that you think shows and proves that you got. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, talking a good game. It's dealing with, every level, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, the earth below and the heavens above, in all of them realms, you got to be building in order for it to be shown approved. People want to see what is being made born, right, from you building. There's a difference, even in the science of physics, right? There's a difference between energy expended and work that's done. So, when you constantly building, you know what I'm saying, dealing with constant elevation, it's going to shape your cipher. You understand what I'm saying? In terms of, when you expressing that degree of power, right? That's when you're going to cause light to attract and unlight to repel. Because those that's not with building, they're not going to want to be around you. You're wasting their time and they're wasting your time. And those that want to build, right, that got any type of head on their shoulders, they're going to see that, okay, this is people over here that can help me with where I'm trying to get. You know what I'm saying? But you got to make that decision and you got to take that action. You know what I'm saying? Meaning, from the very jump, building up within yourself, studying your lessons, working out mentally, physically, every level. Build yourself up so that you're able to express your power in all those other planes. You got to really make a decision to do that, right? And really, when I say the action, I don't mean, like an action hero. I'm just saying that it's not just a concept. Like I'm saying, like, look, at the end of this, right? At the, not even the end, but at this level, right? We here, and it's proof that Allah was building. When you build, that's supposed to be the result. It's supposed to be something that was made that now you can call your own. Because it came from arm, leg, arm, supreme, head. You know what I'm saying? It's just, that's a basic fundamental step. Like I said earlier, this dude, righteous law, whoever he really is, you know what I'm saying? If we was just talking about tiddlywinks, if we was playing spades, and there's nothing that's wrong with those things. But we know that it's some things that's in the realm of 6 and some things that's in the realm of 7. And if you constantly, just dealing with that realm of 6, then yeah, that's where everybody can be a master. When we dealing with the realm of 6, you see, when you constantly building on that 7th level, see, that's when you're going to see. That the water is too deep, the air is too thin. You're going to see them struggling. And look, let's say he is sincere, right? This is why you gotta this is why you gotta be careful, man. You gotta know what you're doing when you teach it. Because see, if he is sincere, that means somebody lined him up. Somebody gave you some half-ass shit and told you it was okay to go amongst the real. That's like your best friend take you on a wild safari on the African Serengeti. And then they told you at the last minute, hold on, let's put on these steak drawers. Let's strip down and just keep these steak drawers on and just walk across. Let's just walk across the plains right here. That's it. That's how everybody does it. Don't do that to people. Teach people right, man. Teach people to don't line them up. But for what it's worth, to the people that is just coming in, I think that's an important thing right there that might get glossed over, in the midst of you fasting and studying your lessons and all these different things. That you gotta keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't leave your house and don't know the day's mathematics. That's how you begin to slip away. When you're not, conscious, super conscious of, what your foundation is. That's how the greatest society starts to break you down. And you got people who have just kind of blended back into society. Like they never woke up one day and was like, yo, you know what? I ain't with this 5% stuff. I don't see this as right. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to church. I'm going back to Christian. That don't happen to everybody. See, some people are not sticking to their lessons and not constantly elevating. They just drift back into that life. See, especially that's my term. That's just my personal term. I call it 50-50. When you reach that point where you've had the knowledge for, at least as long as you didn't have the knowledge. So that's another good thing about getting the knowledge young is that, see, just arithmetic, right? Just arithmetic. I've spent going on twice the amount of time with the knowledge than I didn't have the knowledge. You see what I'm saying? So at this point, I don't even remember a lot of the 85 shit. Like it would just be more difficult for me to drift. I'm not going to just drift. Like I don't hang around people that go to church. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't, I don't know people that do certain things. In fact, even the people that I know that do certain things, they would try to snap me out of it. Like if I just came around one day and was like, yo, I want to be savage with you, they'd be like, nah, God, you don't do that, God. Come on, God, stop. Come on, God. Nah, God. You the God, man. You can't do this. When you stay building, that's what happens. When you stay building in every world that you go into, they see you over here, and like this dude say, his name is Righteous Universal Freedom, but over there they call you Kevin. Now, there's certain forums where, look, that's what motherfucker calling you Kevin, but that's not what you there for. Meaning, you don't talk to this person, you don't interact with them. They read your name off the paper right there. All right. But see, anybody that's around you for any period of time, like you got people that they don't really realize that I don't eat pork. To them, I'm just always eating some good shit. Like they was like, yo, saying, yeah, take me to the restaurant where where you got that from, Nick? But it don't never dawn on them that I eat at these places because they don't have pork. Like see, even right now, if people say, yo, I want to get a sandwich, right? A lot of people, and then they see this store right across the street over here on 127th Street. I never get a sandwich there. I always tell people, nah, go down there to the store on 124th Street. See, first of all, they ain't got no pig, right? That's 1A. 1B, that's the cleanest. That's the cleanest bodega in this near vicinity right here. Like just when you go in there, the lighting, when you looking at the surfaces, everything, the all the green leafies is look fresh. When you greet people with peace, Or do you, just start drifting back into, yo, what up? So that's one of the things, you know what I mean? Like I said, especially for the newer people, in order for you to really ingrain this in you and really internalize it, you got to stay built. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you first get the knowledge. There's a lot of things you got to think about it. But, over time, you stay building, these things start to just become natural. So, that's pretty much my message. I don't know. I guess look, put something in the comment box. Not this one. I'm saying at the, when it's over, then you can comment on the video. If y'all think that we should get into some more, complex topics. But I like these simple ones too. You understand what I'm saying? You can see all that complex shit throw you off and you think you high powered. But the foundation is shaky. You built the mansion on a shaky foundation. So that's why I like these basic ones. You see what I mean? Because, I still know where I came from. You got to remember that. For the newer people, you just getting knowledge, you seeing the end of the road. Not the end, but, you seeing cycles down the road, ciphers the brothers that been down. You ain't see us on the first day. You ain't see us the first week, the first month. These is a lot of things what I'm telling you. These is things that I had to be told. At one time, my goal was to come to the cipher and not say nothing. And if there was a way to come and be in cipher and not say nothing and be true and living, I would have did it. It's like, nah. You gotta speak up, God. All right. Step out here into the middle of the cipher, God, because we can't hear you, God. Speak up. Because that's one of the keys. You gotta speak it in order to really master it like that and get that level of understanding like that and be able to use it. You gotta speak it. You know what I'm saying? You can't live it like that, until you can speak it. The questions and answers, actually I'll be wanting to do the questions and answers, but you know what it is? I just gotta get into filming. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get back to, the live stream format is so easy for me. You know what I mean? Like me and Infinite actually talk about that. Where, he's the edit master. You know what I'm saying? Where you film, you talk to him for 5 minutes and he made 25 installments out of it on his channel. Whereas for me, it's like, God, that takes 2 days to go through. You got to go through the fridge, or like, I'd rather just get on there and just spit, G. But yeah, that's That's a good idea. But a lot of times I ask questions right here, you don't get no answers. But we'll see. We'll see what gives. That definitely was. That was at the foundation. That was at the foundation of the Random Jewels network here and the things we was doing. But yeah, Don Bishop, you missed us today. We came on a little bit late, but we still did our thing. But right now we're about to take it down. We was just doing a little recap on what we covered today in class. You know what I'm saying? But we had a couple new people. You know what I'm saying? Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button so you can know when we come back on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else do the each one teach one. Hit the like button. And generally speaking, we're gonna go ahead and check out for this one here. You know what I'm saying? As we always say, we'll try to make it back on at some point during the week. But for right now, I'm gonna sign off and say peace.